On this episode of the Vazquez Report, we're going to cover the lies versus the truth as it pertains to the government shutdown. What are the Democrats hiding from you? What are the facts behind it? All this and another big story coming in this episode of the Vazquez Report, and it happens right here. So let's start off the episode by seeing what both sides are saying on CNN as Abby Phillips and Scott Jennings go at it over who's doing what during the shutdown.
The other debate about who's going to get taxpayer-funded Medicaid in this country, that's what the memes are about. That's what the fight is about. Democrats want to make it about this subsidy issue. They don't run out to the end of the year, by the way. But the real thing is they filed legislation to repeal what the Republicans did this summer.
What few people realize is that the Democrats are actively trying to change the eligibility requirements for aliens so they can receive Medicaid. It says so right here under Section 71109, Alien Medicaid.
These two issues have been conflated, but the fact is they don't just want the subsidies. They want other things, and the president is drawing attention to it, I think, in a pretty clever way. We just had a national emergency about telling jokes. I don't know why.
It's not just hyperbole either. Look at these amounts down here. The Democrats' proposal would have resulted in nearly $200 billion being spent on health care for illegal immigrants and other non-citizens over the next decade. That's enough to fund the entire child health insurance program for 10 years.
Still not going to illegal immigrants, Scott.
It is. It really does.
It's not.
It really does.
So it
does in several blue states.
Scott, no, it's not.
It really does.
Listen, the part of the bill that deals with the money that goes to states, it doesn't say anything about their immigration policy. So
it doesn't recite their legal status, huh? Well, according to these proposals, it would allow those granted asylum and parole to receive Medicaid, and also take away health savings account for over 10 million Americans. It would take away a $50 billion investment in rural health care, among a bunch of other stuff. Look at this. Democrats' proposal will require Medicaid to pay more for emergency care provided to illegal aliens than it does for American patients who are disabled, elderly, or children. Democrats' proposal would also allow California to continue exploiting a loophole to fund Medicaid to illegal aliens.
Red state or blue state, those states are getting less money from the federal government. That still has to be dealt with. And that has nothing to do with immigration. And again, Medicaid does not go to undocumented.
She knows she's lying, and she's still saying lies right in front of Scott Jennings' face. And she's lying to her viewers, too. All that I just read off from the memo, directly from the White House, states that Democrats' proposal would take money from existing American citizens and would give it more towards illegal aliens.
Immigrants. SNAP does not go to undocumented immigrants. CHIP does not go to undocumented immigrants.
It absolutely does.
I don't know. I mean, Scott, prove me wrong.
How many blue states?
Show me the law.
How many blue states? Mike Johnson showed it.
Scott, show me the U.S.
in a gigantic poster on
Show
Friday.
me the U.S. code where it says that they're allowed to get Medicaid funding.
I will put it out on social media.
It doesn't exist.
Right,
in fact, the law says exactly the opposite.
Well, she asked for the evidence, and here goes Speaker Johnson with black and white on a billboard, right for everybody to see. Here goes your evidence that you've been looking for.
When we say they want to give $200 billion back to illegal aliens, these are the specifics. So you see the final total there, $192.8 billion of your hard-earned taxpayer dollars that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats want to give back to illegal aliens. That's a fact, and nobody can refute it.
Look at all the things that the Democrat proposal will repeal. Ending Medicaid funding for most non-citizens, and ending enhanced FMAP for emergency care to illegal immigrants. They closed the California loophole, ending Medicare funding for most non-citizens, ending Obamacare funding for most non-citizens, repealing the Obamacare special rule for immigrants, almost $200 billion back to illegal immigrants. They want to repeal 6 different sections of the Working Families Tax Cut Act that was passed in the One Big Beautiful Bill, to the tune of almost $200 billion back to illegal aliens instead of American citizens.
So
they're trying to repeal what the Republicans did this summer.
Scott, that is a lie, okay?
It is not.
Now, you might want to dispute whether or not states should get reimbursed from the federal, or should get federal dollars for Medicaid at the levels that they got it before. That's a different issue. But that's not an issue that's actually tied to immigration, and you know it.
Well,
but go ahead.
I mean,
even according to Newt Gingrich, somebody who has often at times been a staunch critic of his own party, the Republicans, says that this is a dumb strategy.
The dumbest strategy that I have seen in a long time. There are two things the American people want: do not close the government, and do not raise spending. So what do the Democrats do? They say, I'm going to close the government until you raise spending. That's a double negative. Do you know how hard it is for a major party to design a strategy that has two different stupid things in the same strategy? But it is really one of the dumbest moments in party history, certainly in the last 30 or 40 years.
So instead of just, shutting down the government, okay, whatever, you want to also shut down the government and increase spending? How do you think history is going to look at that? Specifically, how do you think your own party is going to look at it? Do you think it's worth shutting down the government in order to get almost $200 billion back to illegal immigrants and then taking that money from children, retired people, and elderly people? In order to do that, does that sound good to you? It sounds stupid to me, and it should sound stupid to you as well. Let's move on to the next story. Just when you think it couldn't get even more preposterous, listen to some of these charges that were in the budget prior to now that they uncovered as a result of the shutdown. It gets extremely worse. And then listen to exactly what they are and what the amounts are. And tell me that they weren't trying to waste your money on this bullshit.
We found $3.6 million for pastry cooking classes and dance focus groups for male prostitutes in Haiti. I kid you not. I'm not making this up. It was in the budget under President Biden. We took it out. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez in the socialist wing, the loon wing of the Democratic Party, says we're going to shut down government until you put it back in.
We're going to shut down the government until you put back in money for pastry classes and dance focus groups for male prostitutes in Haiti. Are you fucking kidding me? What part of the socialist wing of the Democratic Party would approve this bullshit? Are you joking? Like, this can't be real, can it? And unfortunately it is. And here goes some more.
$4.2 million. We took it out. The Congresswoman and the socialist wing of their party says we've got to put that back in for the open government. $4.2 million for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex people in the Western Balkans and Uganda. I could spend the rest of the afternoon here.
All respect to the LGBTQ community, but why do we care about the upper Balkans of that LGBTQ community in Uganda? We need to spend that money on America first. $4.2 million sounds absolutely ridiculous.
We took all that out. It upset Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. It upset the socialist wing of her party.
See, it's ideas like these and then the sensitive nature of being so offended by a joke that you'll announce it on news stations that lead to this troll right here by Trump.
Hey, tell me when we're live on... Did you see what Donald tweeted? I am offended by sombreros. Officer, you can't arrest me for being dumb. So can you tell me why it burns when I pee? How much do tampons cost here?
How much do tampons cost here? That last one was rough. Oh, man. It just goes to show, you can have a sense of humor about certain things, and especially if you're the one with the ridiculous ideas. Just when you thought the trolling was over, it's not. Here goes President Trump, the leader of the OMB, Russ Voigt, trolling the Democrats. My thing is, if he runs the OMB as part of the executive branch and he could give the orders to the OMB to cut what they need to cut, what part of you thinks that the Democrats' part of the budget isn't going to get cut first? Especially when it includes all the ridiculous shit that Senator Kennedy said in that last video we just saw. Come on now. ain't saying nothing important. Just blah, 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 blah. Which brings me to the final story of this episode. And that is President Trump getting Israel and Hamas to start to negotiate peace deal between the warring sides. Let's hear what President Trump had to say.
I want to thank the countries that helped me put this together. Qatar, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, and so many others. So many people fought so hard. This is a big day. We'll see how it all turns out. We have to get the final word down in concrete. Very importantly, I look forward to.
Most importantly, as a president of peace like President Trump is, he wants to see the hostages come home to their families, regardless of their condition. Listen.
Having the hostages come home to their parents and having some of the hostages, unfortunately, you know the condition they're in, come home likewise to their parents because their parents wanted them just as much as though that young man or young woman were alive. So I just want to let you know that this is a very special day, maybe unprecedented in many ways. It is unprecedented, but thank you all. And thank you all to those great countries that helped. We were given a tremendous amount of help.
President Trump didn't take credit alone. He thanked the countries that participated in formulating this peace deal and having it come this close to fruition. President Trump has led the peace efforts along with the Middle Eastern countries that helped make this possible also. Let's hear him finish the speech.
Everybody was unified in wanting this war to end and seeing peace in the Middle East, and we're very close to achieving that. Thank you all, and everybody will be treated fairly.
I honestly hope that it's a win-win situation as it comes to the negotiations and that the bloodshed can finally stop when it comes to the war in Gaza between Israel and Hamas. That's it for the Vazquez Report. Until next time, peace.